Hi, everybody. Welcome to New Earth Rising. We're so happy that you're here, and we're so happy to be here. This is super fun. I think did we miss last week?
We did.
We did miss last week. I think I was having internet problem. I don't remember. I've been having
You,
internet problems. I've had sinus infection. I had something else going on.
it was one of those things. I don't remember either.
One of those life things that happens, and it's just like, So we're so happy to be here. So happy to see all of our buddies here with us watching. I am Michelle Ambergy. I'm known as the Awakener, one of many, many awakeners. And chances are, if you're watching this, whether live or otherwise, that you're an awakener too, because we all tend to gather together. We all know each other's vibes. We know each other's hearts and souls. And we're here to walk each other and whoever else wants to go along with us into this new earth paradigm as this old matrix begins to crumble. We begin to, what we're talking about today, hack the matrix and begin to find ways to live. And part of it, the fun is finding each other. So I'm super happy to be here. Super happy to be here with Sharon, my co-shenanigator. How are you doing, Sharon?
I'm doing wonderful. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for being here. And hello, everyone else. Thank you for being here. Michelle, thank you for being here with me. Okay, this week.
You're welcome. I know I was saying I couldn't remember what it was. I've had a sinus infection. My internet has been just screwy Louie. And I had something else that was going on. Now I can't even remember a week ago why
I
I
think it
couldn't
had
make it.
to do with your granddaughter, I think.
Oh, was it something to do with my okay. And
Yeah.
then I have my granddaughter, whom I
Oh, it's,
love and adore. She's so awesome.
yeah, I didn't even know you had a sinus infection. So that's news.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the goobies in the air right now. We had so much rain.
Mm.
And as there's things that are blossoming, I mean, I can see plants in my backyard. It's like, where'd that come from? And so I'm just, I get that spring. I guess that we usually call it hay fever, but this time
Mhm.
it's like, oh, it went a little bit further. So I've been snorting salt water.
Ooh, yeah. So hello, Michelle. Another Michelle that
Yay!
spelled it right like you do.
I
And
spelled
hey,
it
Michelle.
right. About darn time.
Miss Jules and Gaia. I hope I pronounced your name. Gayal?
Kyle.
Gayal, yes. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. Rained here all afternoon in the swamps.
Yep.
Oh, in the
She's in
swamps, Gayal.
Louisiana,
Mm.
where the
Louisiana.
crawdads sing, if I'm not mistaken.
I lived in Lafayette for a while in Lake Charles.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I know a
You
little
know,
bit
I
about Louisiana.
I've never been to the southern states, and I think of myself as a Southern belle, and I've never been to Louisiana, Georgia, the Carolinas, Florida. Never been to any of those places, but I still think I'm a Southern belle, so I don't know
That's so
how
funny
that
because I've lived in Florida, North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, and I'm from Oregon. So I've lived a lot in a lot of the South, but I don't have a Southern accent.
Oh, I think I
Isn't
do.
that funny? Yes, you probably have more, more than me.
Hey, Rev Ned and Barbie. Gail. Oh, not in this life anyway, you're right. It's funny when I saw the movie Gone with the Wind when I was like 8 or 9 years old with my mom, and I went, I'm I'm Scarlett O'Hara. And it stuck with me. I didn't know anything about past lives and stuff, but that whole era was like I was there.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind, and I believe I was a Scarlett O'Hara person. So, oh, rat.
I don't give a damn. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? I don't give a damn, Scarlett.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yes, frankly, my
Mm,
dear.
mm, mm.
Carissa. Hey, Carissa.
We're
So
so
yeah,
happy
I'm
you guys are all
excited.
here.
We're talking about awakening from the dream, hacking the matrix. And no surprise that when Michelle and I decided to do this show, I had made a list a couple weeks ago about it. Without in thinking about doing this show at the time, I was just writing down how to, I even call it hacking the ascension process. When you're journaling stuff, you're just putting stuff down. Oh, this is good stuff. So you just write it, or I do anyway. I write that stuff down before it goes away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And here we are.
Yep. Here we are. And
Hmm.
it was funny because um, Sharon had said, well, let's do something like along awakening in the dream. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And as I was filling out the little thing, and it was like hacking the matrix. And I went, oh, she'll love that.
Yeah.
Then she'd already written it,
I'd already,
2 weeks before. It's
I
so
already
weird.
told you about it. So we told each other about it before. Isn't that funny? That's where we're going. And we've had this conversation before. I know
Yeah,
that pretty soon in our lifetime, maybe, are we kind of in our lifetime now, words will be just redundant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because we're already communicating telepathically
yeah.
the
And
way
it's
we
just
used
on
to.
that. It's almost like it's on a collective current, and it just kind of spills into the minds that are ready for whatever that is. And that's kind of almost like how I see it. Is
Yeah.
that group? There's like a group consciousness, but there's another one that's like this collective current. That's a name that actually just kind of popped into my mouth.
I love that.
Um, and I believe it's related to those of us that are kind of operating on the same frequency, sort of a thing.
Hmm.
So those ideas and words and concepts and stuff begin to be shared.
Right.
And you and I share them a lot because it's really weird.
I know. And I guess that in moving as we on that what did you call it? The collective way or the
Yep. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what I said now. I apologize. I must
I
have been
can't
on the
even
wave and it's now down the road a ways. Can someone in our
that's
audience
why I
please
write
tell
things
me
down.
what I just said? Oh my
Tell me
God.
what I just said. Oh, that's
It's like
hilarious.
it's a test. You guys need to be paying attention.
Okay, collective wave.
The
Collective.
collective wave. I better write that down. Excuse me while I write it down.
So, so yeah. I also got as you were talking, and I've got this before. I think I don't know, or just whenever it's all now anyway. Um, that like when you and I work together, when you're connected to someone or your immediate family or immediate soul group, that kind of thing, that you're on another wave, a more streamlined wave. And that's why you and I have this
Yeah,
communication going on where we have the same ideas for the show kind of
a
thing in
lot.
conversations. Yeah. Collective.
I know. I'm like, I got to write it down. I got everybody put your eyes on the words so that we can remember. So you can remind us later. Yeah. I mean, and even too, we were sharing, I don't know, it's been a couple months ago now that we were both painting and we even painted a being that looked very, very similar. That
Hmm.
totally freaked me out. I was like, "Oh my god, we are really
Hmm.
coming off the same thought stream." So that is really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
So
awakening from the matrix.
if Michelle just I wrote it down for you.
Thank you, Michelle. One L's rock. Uh, uh,
Before we start with our tricks of the trade, I wanted to read again Yeshua's promise about with awakening from the dream. Okay.
mm,
First page of The Way of Mastery. I don't know if mentioned this book before.
I
The
know
Way of
it's
Mastery.
flickering. It's flickering in the matrix.
Yeah. The Way of Mastery. Have I mentioned this book before?
I think you have
I think I mention it every time.
17 times,
17 at least. Yes.
and it is worthy of being mentioned 17 more,
Right.
just to prepare all y'all.
just in this show. Okay. So this is in the beginning of the book. Of the books, it's a three of them. The Way of Mastery. I promise you this: if you become wholly committed to awakening from the dream you have dreamt since the stars first began to appear in the heavens, and if your one desire is to be only what God created, then lay at the altar of your heart with every breath everything you think you know, everything you think you need, and look
Mhm.
lovingly upon every place that fear has made a home in your mind, and allow correction to come. That was a long sentence. It will come. Regardless of how you experience it, it will come. And the day and the moment will arise, and all of your pain and fear and suffering will have vanished like a wind that pushes the foam of the wave away, revealing the clarity of the ocean beneath you. You will literally feel throughout your being that there never was a dream. Some memories might remain with you, and you will know that somewhere you must have dreamt a dream or had a thought of wondering what it would be like to be other than the way God created you, but it will be such a faint echo that it will leave no trace upon you. In your heart, you will smile gently, regardless of the circumstances in which you find yourself. There will be peace from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, and that peace will walk before you wherever you go. It will enter a room before you enter it with a body, and those who are becoming sensitive will wonder who has come into their place. And some will even say, "Behold, I believe Christ has come for dinner." Whew. And you will be that one, for that is who you are, Christ eternal, Yeshua.
Mm, so good. And yeah, I was talking to Rev Ned earlier, and we were talking about along those lines about being that presence.
Yeah,
Oh, so good. The
that's what
way
that's
of
about.
mastery.
Mm-hmm.
The way of mastery. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just want to sit in that energy for a minute.
Right. Yeah, this is the kind of book where for me anyway, I read a page or two and I have to sit with it.
Yeah,
And I couldn't get past that page
yeah,
for a while. I just read it over and over and over.
yeah.
And you feel them with you.
Because it really is the next step in this awakening process. We've read all the books, we've done all the classes, we've taken all the workshops, we've listened to all the teachers. And the next step is the inner, right? And to
Mm-hmm.
taking truths like what you just read to us and bringing it in and making it alive within us
Yeah.
and being that. And that's that awakening to when you forget that there ever was anything else but that peace and that harmony.
Right.
Mm, it's so good. It's so good. And we get moments of that meditation and prayer,
Mm-hmm.
in those moments that catch our breath. But to live like that 24/7, that's the next goal. It's the next goal.
It should be the only goal, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That should be the goal.
Yeah.
Is to live in love of who we are.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, show's over. That was
Okay. That's all.
funny.
That's all we need. That's all we need to know.
We'll be back next week and we'll do the same thing. And honestly, oh my God, it feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost like we need to have a show where we just read that passage and then sit together in peace.
I'm
So
okay with
beautiful.
that.
Oh, and I hope you all are really feeling that energy and that presence of that passage. And it feels like, because I know you've read that before, Sharon,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it feels like every time it's read, it's that presence comes more and more alive and
Yeah.
more palpable. And is that the return of the Christ? Is that what that is? And to think on that and to think about that and think about that within each and every one of us. Mm, so good.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Sharon and saying that in July, I'm going to be taking a spiritual vacay and kind of back off of a lot of things, which we'll be talking about today. And it is that very feeling that you just elicited from that passage that is what I am opening space up to infill me. And so thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Yeah. And that is the awakening from the dream.
Yeah.
And the dream is the matrix right now.
Well, yeah, isn't it? The matrix we set up, and he says it's in error, and in error. We make that decision in error. We make decisions in error. That's okay.
Yeah, sure. That's part of growing.
Yeah, and to think that we're separate from God, from Source, whatever we
Mhm.
want to call it, Christ consciousness. So I
Yeah.
want to share my out of body. I had real quick this morning. I want to
Ooh,
share.
very cool.
Yeah.
Good. I'll share my dragons. I mean my
Okay.
dragons,
Cool.
my lions.
Nice. So I went out, uh, and I'm in a space that I was indoors. I was in a room, a very large room that had it was kind of dark and dim, and I knew I was lucid, so I thought, okay, well, I need to raise my vibe, right? Raise the vibe of my situation, of my surroundings in my mind or whatever it is. And so I started chanting, or not chanting, but saying, I love you, God. I love you, God. I kept saying that
Mm,
over and over and over and bringing in that connection, finding that centeredness and that connection. And as I was saying it, I saw the room brighten up. And there are people here have taken my courses. I know Michelle has on the out of body experience. I think Carissa has too. Yeah. And I share that if you affirm when you're in a place where you can't see or anything like that, affirm ways to raise your frequency, um, that things happen. And so the room would start to brighten up, and I could tell I was in some kind of a room that had it was like a study in a big, large room, like a study with a really warm feel, like dark wood furnishings, beautiful, beautiful. And as I'm looking around and still affirming, I love you, God, I love you, God, the room started filling up with red and pink roses
ooh.
all around me on all the surfaces. Just, I mean, they weren't floating, but they were just all on all the surfaces. They just started filling up the room.
That's so cool.
And I felt, I, and I just started smiling like I am now. I just felt that love and connection and joy as it was
Mm,
happening. It felt so good. So I was obviously connecting, but I love how source, my guides, who my higher self, whoever, just that's what how they were able to connect to me and give me that gift. And what's really funny is and I faded back soon after that to hear because I don't recall anything after that experience. I was just in this sitting in this space of happiness, and I went into a dream, a false, what I call a false awakening, and I was telling someone about my out of body experience that I had earlier, where I was stating, I love you, God, and the room filled up with roses. I was telling someone about that in the dream.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was
That's
really cool.
really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, because our dreams, they're so valid as well. It's just another dimension that we're operating in. We can call it, out of body, we can call it lucid dreaming, we call it
Yeah.
whatever, but it's
Yeah.
an altered state of consciousness, and we can go to various different levels of that. And
Right.
that's so cool. You can tell all the people.
Hmm.
Tell all the people. Well, and you know what? I really feel like too, Sharon, the last couple of weeks, there has been something going on that's been very elevating for a lot of people. I've had a lot of people talking about having some really amazing dreams, some really amazing experiences. And I want to share with you guys a dream that I have. Um, and it was basically I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, and it's like being wide awake, and in an effort to fall back asleep, I started just praying, and beloved Jesus, and Christ, and pulling in the energy and allowing it to rise up. And I just asked the questions like, who am I? Who am I in all of this? What am I doing here? Who am I in all of this? And I've asked that question before, and you guys have heard, that I had that experience where I told you're the creator and the creation. And this time I found myself in this long dark hallway that I find myself in a lot in my dreams. At the very far distant, there's this golden light, golden something. And I'm walking and walking, and there's doorways. Doors are all closed, and I don't even feel compelled to go down them. And as I get closer, these four really tall white lions are standing there, and they smile when they see me. And this is I'm reconnecting with my Lyran ancestry, with my Lyran lineage. And they all look at me like with this knowing look, and they're really tall, so I'm looking way up there. And they kind of moved out of the way, and they pointed to that throne, and they're like, get up there, this is yours. And I've been told that before, this is your throne. I was like, oh, cool, thank you. But this time they were like, please sit down and remember who you are. And it was like, okay, okay, so I walk up there and I sit down. And as I turn around, I'm getting told chills. As I turn around and sit into this throne, I turn into a white lion.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, I'm sitting, the throne grows big, I get really tall, and I'm sitting there. And all of a sudden, that whole hallway is lined with these Lyran beings, male and female children. And they all get on one knee and bow their head. And I didn't know what was going on. So I got down on my knees and I bowed to them. And there was this whoosh of energy that came up through me. And it was so beautiful and so loving that I just kind of went in that state of bliss and was out. And I woke up when the alarm went off at 6. It
Wow.
was such a beautiful experience. And those Lyran lion beings have been with me so consciously, like I can feel them even right now as I'm talking right here, them standing there. And it's almost like I've reclaimed a part of me that I had been afraid to claim. And I, even as I've sat on that very same throne in past experiences, I was like, wow, this is really cool. But this time it was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is really different. And being shown how the lineages go down through the Pleiades and the Arcturians and the Sirians, and just all this rush of knowledge and information that I haven't really processed, um, came through. And it's amazing. And it's the same thing. It's that same feeling, Sharon, when you're talking about the roses. When I'm feeling that, what you're talking about, it's that same feeling
Hmm.
of such joy and bliss, but it's home.
Connection, home.
It's who
Yeah.
we are.
Hmm.
And it's that coming home again. And it's depicted in a million different ways, right? But it's not about if it's the lions or the roses or Jesus or whatever. It's the feeling. The feeling is the awakening in the dream, right? That
Yeah.
feeling. And I received a message a while ago that we have to get out of trying to figure it out and get into feeling the feeling. That's the next step, kind of a thing for those that are here for this process.
That's a chapter in here. I think it's called "Feeling is Everything" or "Emotions are
Hmm.
Everything" or something like that. Um, yeah,
And we're that's exactly what we're experiencing is the feeling. And so for all of you who are watching, take time for those moments when you have the feeling. And even right here with us right now, as Sharon and I are sharing this with you, in our words, in our expression, in our presence, that feeling is here with you guys.
yeah,
And give yourself permission to feel that, because that is hacking the matrix,
yeah,
right?
totally.
And there's a million other things that we can do too, but it's interesting that we started with the big kahuna.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. Yeah. So what I've found is hacking the matrix or hacking the ascension process, which is really what we're doing, right? We're moving up in frequency. The matrix is collapsing around us as we move up in frequency and disconnect
Mhm.
from it. Is that number one? And the awareness is the key. Awareness is
Yeah,
always the key, and that's what Yeshua's always told me. Awareness is the key to everything, for to all the steps for anything. And so, being aware that we are um, dreaming, that this is an illusion, as Einstein says, albeit it is a persistent one.
yeah. It is. And it's a dream that we chose to have.
Yes, we're co-creating,
Yeah,
co-creating this dream. Yeah.
yeah,
But still, we can, yeah, create our dream and be lucid, being aware and lucid. And that's why I believe that, well, like what you said, out of body experiences and being aware in our dreams, lucid dreaming is so important, because as we become aware in that state, we become more aware here. That's how it happens, because we're practicing here and then we become aware there, and they're all tied. It's all tied together. Okay. And then when we do transition, we're more aware in our
right,
transitional state, instead of just, riding that wheel of karma.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, so awareness is the key of that we are within that reality. Yeah.
And it's moving out of the identification of the mind and the ego.
Hmm.
And you're aware of something other than that. And it comes in moments. It comes in little like poof. It's not like it's go, I'm another moment. It comes in like a gentle whisper. It comes in a soft little thing. And you part of that awareness is stopping when that softness comes in, when that whisper comes in, and
Yeah.
paying attention to it. It's like when the butterfly flies in front of you, don't be like, oh, butterfly, that was so cool. Hey, I'm gonna call my friend. Hey, that was a great butterfly. It was like stay with the butterfly, right? Stay with the
Hmm.
butterfly, stay with the experience, stay with the energy that is before you. And
That's
it's
so important.
mhm,
Yeah, because you notice in today's world, when something cool happens or we're in a cool situation, you know what we want to do? Get out our phone and take a picture or a video. Which, okay, especially if you see a UFO in the sky or something like that. But I think to myself, why can't I just sit here and enjoy this moment
yeah,
and be in the moment, because it takes away from the moment, I notice, and it puts it in a different frequency. And
yeah,
so we're not in the moment of the really cool experience.
yeah,
And what is the big deal if we get, like, for me, I live on the river. We have baby ducks now. What is the big deal with me getting a little video of a mama and her baby ducks? Why can't I just sit there with them and enjoy that moment? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it's big. And I think with the invent of all of the matrix tools, oh, I said it, all of the matrix tools, it really is taking us away from those sacred moments.
mhm,
And that's one of the things to do to step out of that matrix is to set those things down for a minute. And Sharon and I were talking about, it's like turn off the modem, turn off the computers, take a couple days without all that flowing through the air. Get outside, hug a tree, kiss a duck, right? Play with your kittens, hang out with nature and in the sun and in the water. You're so lucky to have a beautiful river behind you that is so much life. And we
mhm,
need to be infilled again with the life of nature and with organics. And and I think that's a lot of the distraction is the lack of organic, which
oh, yeah,
it turns toxic at a certain level. And getting back to that organic, what we call nature, you know, and even all the way down to the things we put on our body, you know,
or in,
or in our body. Yeah, yeah, and absolutely food and drink, and I'm really being aware of that because the inorganic begins to turn everything off. It begins to diminish this connection to the real, and the organic and the divine. And it's so easy because we were just slow walked into this. Oh, hey, these cell phones are going to make our lives easier, and computers. And if you look at computers and cell phones and all that stuff, just over a period of a few years, everybody had them. It was going to make your life easier. And we weren't going to use so much paper. And it was this wonderful thing. And it was like, wow. And now most of us are kind of trapped. I dated a guy, he used to call it the phone, the electronic leash,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
we're trapped with these electronic leashes that we've become addicted to. I know I have. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is I pick up that phone. And I have taken the time to put the phone across the room.
mhm,
And if I wake up in the middle of the night, I will automatically grab that phone and put it right next to the bed. It's like, what is that? It becomes an addiction.
yeah.
And hacking the matrix is breaking the addiction to all this stuff too.
Yeah, I've seen my energy actually being sucked out of me with my third eye into the phone or the computer if I'm getting caught up in something,
Yeah,
what we call going down the rabbit hole kind of thing.
yeah,
And then I can feel how drained I am
yeah,
from it. Yeah. So I turn my phone off at night. I don't have it next to me. I also I don't check it first thing in the morning. I used to, but I don't
yeah,
anymore. I do other things first, and I don't get on my computer until after around 11 or 12 o'clock. So I'm lucky to where I can schedule my
do
life
that.
that way.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I used to do that too, and my life has changed a little bit. I have a little precious soul with me. So
yeah,
we got to get up in the morning with the alarm, and I'm up and like whoop. And so I'm getting on the computer at 7 a.m. instead of getting up and stretching and doing my meditation and all that stuff. And
hmm,
it's taken a toll just in the, few months that we've been doing that. And it's like, oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Back, back,
right,
back. We need to, slow that roll down
right.
because I can feel it. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, this is it does exhaust you, definitely. This is the matrix of lies. It's the matrix
Mhm.
that's turning us, trying to turn us into AI, more AI driven,
Mhm.
I guess you could say it. And so as that matrix, as we move away from that matrix and it falls away, that's how we become more aware
Yeah,
and more organic
yeah,
because we're organic beings. I mean, if you want to be if anyone wants to, because I know people will say, okay, I'll have a chip in my head. That'll make it easy. I'm okay with that. I don't want to have a chip in my head for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah,
if
'cause I
you
don't.
do, no judgment. Maybe that's another level of consciousness awakening too,
Yeah,
you
because I
know.
know Musk has got the okay to test that on people, on persons.
Stay out
So,
of my brain.
but you know what? If you are a abductee or contactee or whatever, we already have. I know from my experience that we already have something in our head anyway, and this is fleeting, but I'm if I can help it, I do not want some kind of a chip in my head where that will replace my phone. And that's what I guess that's this, replacing the
Yep.
smartphone. Yeah. So, they're meant to be tools. They make great tools,
Yeah.
but we don't need to be addicted to them like you were talking
Yeah.
about for sure, because it sucks your energy. I saw it. It sucks the energy out of us, and then we got to pull it back. So
Yep.
if we get on our electronics as a tool, that's fine, but we got to pull our energy back. So to I'm remembering to remember to to do that, to pull my energy back in, especially if I've spent a lot of time in the house on my computer or something
Yeah.
like that, and go outside and recharge and get my energy back in, do some qigong or something,
Yeah.
and bring my energy back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's so important. Carissa's saying, Sharon, I felt my energy leaving my third eye into the phone too. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Carissa, I get it. I had a similar experience and I just kind of went, oh, wait, 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 wait. No, no, no. And so what I've done is modem goes off, everything goes off. It is as organic as I can get if I ever experience any kind of plant medicine because I find it a very strong awareness of where that energy is going. Just, I hear you, sister.
Yeah. When I've been in ceremonies with plant medicines, there's no phones allowed,
Mhm,
nothing like
mhm.
that allowed. Yeah,
Yep,
the shaman I worked with didn't even have a TV.
yep.
So
And
yeah.
you'll find that most of the people that are really doing true wisdom in that kind of medicine, they do it out in nature, and follow all those rules because they are drained. There is a agenda behind it all
Well,
to
they open you
keep our
up.
energy.
Yeah, the plant medicine opens you up wide open. And so you are wide open.
Yeah,
And anything that's going to hack you will hack you. Yeah,
yeah,
so you got to be. So I'm glad you recognize that, Carissa, and have taken steps to not do
yeah,
that again.
yeah. Turn that puppy
Recognize
all
it.
the way
Yeah,
off.
totally.
Unplug the modems, turn everything off, even electrical devices. I've got everything on those plug things, and I go around and click them all off. And one time I even weirded myself out and I unplugged everything.
You weirded yourself out.
I did. I just was all of a sudden feeling like so
Oh, too
it
much.
could have been OCD or it could have been energy. I don't know. But sometimes you got to just separate yourself from all that
Yeah. Well,
and
if it's
getting out.
OCD, that's something still you need to deal with.
Mhm.
We all need to deal with.
Well, and what is OCD other than a sensitivity to the energies around you,
Hmm.
right? We've
Yeah.
we've we've labeled it a disease or a mental disorder. Maybe it's just awareness of what's really going on. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
and
a
it
level
also
of
could
being
be something that needs to be healed within us
sure.
that's,
That's where the
being triggered.
sensitivity comes from, right?
Right.
We have so many things labeled as these bad, horrible things that is something's wrong with you and it needs to be
Yeah.
healed. Where really it's an awareness,
Hmm.
right? It's like, oh, that's not feeling good. Let's make it stop.
Well, let's figure it out. Why am
Mhm.
I feeling this
Mhm.
way? So that's part of awareness too, is why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
Why? as we're going through our day. We used to have the time to be able to sit with it
Yeah.
when we get triggered. And like you were saying earlier, Michelle, I forgot what it was, but it made me think, okay, when something, oh, I know it was about the ego. When the ego gets in the way, the key to that, of course, is also to recognize that, like you were saying, recognize when our ego is rearing her head.
Her
And
beautiful head.
uh-huh, and you're like, okay, that doesn't sound like me. And so recognizing that and just taking steps to correct it, like Yeshua says, to correct the error.
Yeah.
And that's part of the process.
Yeah.
That's part of it, and that's the way we are in the higher realms, because when we're here, we're in the higher realms. That's where we are now. Yeah, I mean, we got our electronics here, but the frequency is so high when we're talking about this stuff, and we're in this frequency of joy and sharing and all that kind of thing.
Right.
That's the higher realms. That's not the lie of the matrix,
Right.
of the 3D matrix. Yeah.
And also, we don't stay here for eternity. We
Mhm.
come in, we share, we connect, we love, and then we turn it off and we go and we separate from it and we go into, hopefully, into a place of quiet or maybe outside to, reconnect with Mother Earth and integrate it too. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
I had in and I've had this before in meditation, but it hit me again recently when I was in my one of my meditations, and I realized that okay, and we've talked about this before, I'm sure. I'm not really here, right? Because Joshua talks about it in the book. You're not really you're already home. You are already home with Source, with God, with Him, with you know, in the God mind. We're already there. So we're not disconnected. We're not haven't gone anywhere. We're
Mm-mm.
already there. We're just projecting.
Yeah,
I'm
we forgot.
projecting that I'm sitting here talking to you and everyone. I'm projecting this from the God mind. So we think we're here because we have all those tools that make us, have our physical senses and everything like that. We've been, we co created our projection that way.
Yeah,
And when we're sitting in that space, like you were talking about, Michelle, earlier, we are in the God mind. We're there. We're home in that space within
yeah,
our projection, have that
yeah.
connection.
And we're so powerful that our projection of being here right now is
Yes.
so strong that it seems like it's real. That's how powerful we are as
Seems like
God
a
beings
what?
that
Say
we
that
are.
again.
That it seems real,
Oh,
right? I can see so much of the world around me confirms that I'm here in physicality, right? And it has requirements, my physicality. My physicality has requirements of me. I got to feed it, I got to dress it, I got to clean it, I got to house it, right? And in order to do that, we have to work and we have to, do all these things. And there's so much confirmation that this is real that we forgot that it's just a projection,
yeah.
right?
And we've been so programmed down through our experiences as we move down our spiraling light. What the loved one calls it, spiraling light, whatever projection. Um, Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, we've been so programmed that this is real. So we keep those programs in our cell memories and in our matrix,
Mm-hmm.
and we enforce it
Yeah.
over and over that this is real. And that's what the healing's all about too.
You're a healed. How many of you guys, I would love to know, how many of you guys, I experienced this a lot when I was younger, but I know it's not just when you're young, but how many of you guys have felt in moments throughout your life when all of a sudden you feel like you're in a dream? Because I've had that experience so much in my life, but especially when I was Started really becoming aware of it in like fourth and fifth grade. And I remember going to my mom and saying, I don't feel like I'm real. I feel like I'm in a dream and I might be going crazy. And my mom, thank God she knew metaphysics. And she sat me down and she said, no, that's how it feels sometimes. And so I had asked to go to a therapist because I was afraid I was going crazy. It was that intense. I was so aware of that multidimensional, I'm not really here. This isn't really real. And it's weird because I'm kind of getting that feeling right now. Like I remember
Mhm.
that that feeling like, and we don't have anything in our lives until now. We do to confirm that no, that's okay.
Yeah,
You're
and
actually
as
perceiving
kids,
truth.
right, and as kids, we're closer to that awareness. I think Barbie said that when she was a little girl here in the comments, if you could maybe put that up on the screen. Um, what if this is the dream? Amazing how much we remember when we're young. Yeah, totally. We can
Absolutely.
remember now. We do remember. Just remembering it is remembering it.
And
We
then we
do
get
remember.
lost in the matrix again. They were like, whoop, there we go back.
Yeah, we just say, okay, none of this is really real. I kind of think we're watching a movie. My sister and I laugh about this. We're watching a movie that we're playing a role in.
Yeah.
So, and that's I have lots of dreams of being watching a stage, watching myself on stage, and I'm in the audience with a bunch of others, and I'm watching myself on a stage play kind of thing. And I wake up and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I realize, um, that it's that's what we're doing.
You know what I have? Oh my God, it's totally the opposite, where I'm on stage performing and I see myself in the audience watching. What a trip. Oh, I'm getting chills because it can go either way,
It
right?
can.
It's still all a play.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Michelle, oh wait, Krista said something about she said she didn't actually have her phone. Um, can you put that up there,
Yeah.
Michelle? Pretty please. Okay. Oh, have it released.
My hand held an energetic phone and they cleared the energy. It was directly attached to my third eye.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so
Okay.
before she had said, here's what she had said before. This is really interesting, guys. Sharon, I felt my energy leaving my third eye into the phone too. I was on, well, we don't need to put that information out there.
Okay.
Um, but I didn't actually have my phone asked to have the phone addiction energy released. My handheld energetic phone and they cleared the energy. Wow.
Okay. That's crazy. I believe it totally.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Because it does. It closes down our third eye.
Yep.
That's how it gets to us. And
Yeah.
that's the whole agenda is to hack the pineal gland.
Hack the
Whew.
real matrix,
Yeah,
right?
the one that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the eternal the
Mhm.
matrix of eternal love.
This right here behind me right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is Metatron's cube.
Mhm.
That even that symbol was hacked there for a while too. They're trying to use that symbol to hack into um, the human consciousness through the black cube technology, and they used
Yeah.
Metatron's cube.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and it's just like,
The empire, the Naboo empire.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even remember who it was. It was like, man, you guys,
Mhm.
you got technology and you have ability, but you so misuse it. But the
Well,
power is in the love too,
there's a
right?
positive, there has to be a negative, I guess, right? Yeah. But it's
No more
we're
negative.
right. So what does Michelle say? She says that I've felt a few bumps.
Just saying, I felt a few bumps, like I was jolted. My surroundings seemed like they weren't real. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did we miss something else that
Well, I think that that is coming from, and correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, when I was saying how many of you have felt
Oh, the dreaming.
like in the dream. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mhm.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Gayala is
yeah,
saying, the
totally.
more I learn, the more I realize I already knew it. Isn't
Right?
that true? I'll put that up there too. The more I learn, the more I realize I already knew it.
Mhm.
And it's so
It's
true.
remembering.
Mhm. It's remembering, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the next step I have on the what I wrote down the other day before we even thought we were going to do this was forgiveness, and that's and letting go, that type of thing, letting go of anything that keeps us heavy and down, and moving into that place of forgiveness with. You don't have to. Doesn't mean forgiving a person. It just means letting go of forgiving situations, ourselves, that type of thing, because guilt, shame, all those energies keep us heavy and keep us locked to the matrix. And that again is the ego keeping us locked to the matrix
Yeah.
and asleep in the dream, basically.
A lot of times when we're that those kind of frequencies of guilt and shame are embedded within us, we identify ourselves, our ego identifies itself. It creates a false I am with something that happened in the past, and that says, well, I am a horrible person because that person told me I was, or I am undeserving because I didn't receive love when I need it, or I am, and we create I am identities that
Hmm.
then anchor in the body with that shame and guilt, right? And it
Yeah.
anchors a false identity in. And so definitely need to be clearing those energies out too, so that we can feel again and re-identify again with who we really are. You
Right.
know, I am love. I am holy. I'm sacred. I am divine. I am powerful, right? All those
Right.
wonderful things. And it's that again, it's that inversion,
Hmm.
right? Of the false I am.
Right.
And the all this stuff that we play with, all of our tools are really um, dragging us into false scenarios, you know, that say, well, if you don't look like this girl or have this house or this much money or drive this car, you're just not good enough, right? You
Yeah.
just, you're not hopping, you're not banging, sister, or whatever the terminology is. But it is, and we keep getting reinforced with this: not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And that's the ploy of marketing. If you're not good enough, then you're going to want to buy my product. And
Yeah.
that's where getting off all of this stuff and getting out of this particular matrix. And it's, TV, and it's everything that's on the phone, and everything that's in the computer and the social media and everything, and giving yourself a break so you can come back to your own beingness. Give yourself a day once a month where everything goes, hello. He says you rang. You wanted some nature to run through. Black Panther coming through. Pet your cats and doggies. But yeah, it's so important. And
Oh,
I'm finding
totally.
more and more, as you become more aware, the need for that more and more as well.
Yeah.
You become more sensitive to it.
Yeah, totally. I had that conversation, a telepathic conversation when I was in the temple on the hill, aka psych ward. And I was having a conversation with another patient there about that very same thing, but it was telepathic and it was just as clear as day.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
cool.
I know. Because that's how we were communicating. Me
and
and the
they
other
call
patients.
people crazy.
I know. We weren't, what we were saying was not, was the 3D frequency of what we were really saying, right? And I learned that in my room, is as words, as our frequency is lowered, and I wrote about this in my book, as the frequency is
Yeah,
lowered, we hear things differently. The meaning or the
yeah,
frequency is lowered
yeah,
or raised.
yeah.
And that's why angels sing as they communicate.
Mhm.
That's why you hear that angelic singing, because their frequency is so high as they're communicating.
Yep,
They're communicating.
yeah. And it's also partially what happened to the Bible as
Mm.
the word of God, right? As it was translated further and further down the line, denser and denser frequency, it lost its the word I'm getting is magic, right? It's magical high frequency.
Holiness, his
Mhm.
it's holy frequency. It's, yeah, high frequency, totally. Yeah, good point.
It yeah, it's
And you
interesting.
can feel a frequency of a book. You can feel it, and
Mhm.
that's what, you know. And I think there's writings on that. Uh, it must be David Hawkins that talks about that, the frequency of
Mhm.
his book and different books, right?
Yeah,
And this one's off the charts, of course, because Yeshua taught me how to gauge frequency of myself, things, that type of thing.
yeah,
My animals, of course,
yeah.
they're
You
always at 5D.
yeah, and you feel it. You feel it. You gotta feel, man. You gotta feel it. I know one
Yeah,
time I was at this place down here. It's in Fallbrook. It was called it was a retreat center that was founded on angels. And a friend and I went there, and I had just gotten that book, The Keys of Enoch, the Book of Knowledge, Keys of Enoch,
yeah.
the big one, with Yahweh on the front. And I was in the practice of sleeping with my books, right? So I put the books under my pillow and I would sleep with them. And the first night we were there, the frequency was so off the charts that my girlfriend woke me up, and I was standing up in bed with my hands up to the ceiling speaking in tongues.
Whoa.
Scared the crap out of her.
Well, I guess so. That would scare the crap out of me.
And she's like, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." And I just remember, turning and just going, "I didn't think you, Mama Cynthia," whatever it was. And laid back down and grabbed the book and I hugged it and fell back asleep.
Wow. That's funny. Crazy.
She was a little leery of me for a while after that, but good for her. She stuck around. We ended up becoming good friends. But yeah,
Nice.
those
Nice.
things. And you can glean wisdom from things because, words have a frequency, like you're saying, but the meaning behind them, the intent behind them can still be carried in particular instances. And you can pick up on that.
Yeah.
The good and the bad,
Mhm.
by the way.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
doesn't feel right. Mm-mm-mm. Don't
That
do
goes to
that.
my next point here, trust. Trust it all as well, and trust what you're getting. Trust, trust, trust. Trust that you're that all is well. Trust that the universe, God, source, has your back, and trust what you're getting from
Yeah,
your intuition, um,
yeah,
your guidance, and work at it, because of course discernment is what
yeah.
is important. But another thing that Yeshua helped me to remember was a rule of thumb: if it feels negative, if it makes your body tighten up, if your information you're getting is fearful, makes you feel is in a fearful vein in that frequency and makes you tighten up, then it's coming from the ego. If it's positive and filled with light and love and makes you feel good, and makes you smile, or makes you, feel really good, then it's coming from your higher guidance.
And feels uplifting,
Hmm.
because there's things that'll make you feel good, but not make you feel uplifted.
Hmm.
Like candy, that makes me feel good.
Momentarily, right?
Right? It's like, woohoo, coming in the mouth. We're happy. So there is finding, learning, like what that difference is.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it hits the
hi,
pleasure
Mickey.
center. Yeah.
Excuse
So,
me, my cat is,
well,
he is looking at me with the oddest expression. Are we good?
is he mad at you?
No.
Did you
You all
forget
right?
something?
Oh, no, he's looking at me just this intense, like, mm.
Probably thinks you're talking to him. He's,
And he
animals don't understand we're talking to screens or a
and
phone,
he's
you know?
saying, I've been telling you this stuff over and over and over.
When are you gonna listen? I'm sure you and Mikey had a lifetime at least in ancient Egypt. He looks like a jaguar or a
Yeah.
black panther for sure.
He's definitely got that
Hmm.
feline Lyran energy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so next on my list is bless everything,
mm,
especially what you don't agree with. Bless everything.
yes. And your enemies, quote unquote.
Love your enemies. Hard to do, but bless it. Bless them. Bless everything. Um, and in the words of Paul Selig in the guides, what you bless blesses you, and what you damn damns you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it just we're all mirrors, right?
Yeah. And I just had an experience, and been like in the last week where I had heard something along those lines, and there was someone who kept popping in my head that, was one of those people that was just like I just had to walk away, and it just left a kind of a bad taste in my mouth. But forgiven, gone, but kept popping up. And finally, it's like, what is this? The bad feelings had gone away, but it was still like it's like, what is this? And so I just decided just bless, bless, bless. And I got a message from someone else saying that this person was getting married and had mentioned to her that she was getting married because 15 years ago or something, I told her that she was going to meet a man that had some particular attributes. And when she met this man, he had these attributes, and it ended up being the man that I had spoken to her about ages ago. And she was like, I wouldn't be here without Michelle. And it was someone that I had to leave behind because they were not being nice to me. And so it was really interesting how it all kind of came back around. It was like she went her way, I went my way, I forgave and let it go. And yet, law, it's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And it was something that I'm getting chills again.
Yeah.
So another one of those situations where it come back around. It's like, okay, that's me.
Yeah. I love that. And I've learned that what you bless comes back to you tenfold more than, well, no, what you damn comes back to you tenfold. What you bless comes back to you a hundredfold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
true. Where you put your energy is where it grows and what you create your own personal matrix, your own personal experiences with,
Yeah.
and you
And we
really
do
have
have a
to be
personal
careful.
matrix. I've seen it.
Yeah. It looks a little bit like this thing we got behind us in the,
Yeah. Well, speaking of shrooms we were talking about earlier, it was in a plant medicine ceremony. It was with psilocybin, and I could see the matrix of the room. We went outside, saw the matrix of uh, the nature around us, gorgeous,
mhm.
gorgeous, and saw my own personal matrix, which
Yep.
was pastel looking, and I could see it moving as I took a breath in and out.
So awesome.
It was awesome. It was beautiful. I couldn't. I was mesmerized.
I was mesmerized with my own
I
energy,
was
and it's so awesome. We should be.
I was mesmerized with my own matrix.
We're such beautiful, amazing beings beyond this physical body. Just this
Yes.
physical body is such a, like, it's an amazing creation. And yet, wait, there's more. We have energy fields and matrices and consciousnesses and connected to this. multi-dimensional, and most of us just think we're just little deet 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 running around this earth trying to survive for 50, 60 years. It's crazy. We're so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So next on my list is reflection time. Shut off the noise, like you were talking about. Shut off the noise. We have to have some reflection time and going within, because that's what's real. Is with and we reflect, or we uh, project what we have within, right? What's going on within us. And so, as long as we're paying attention to what's going on within us, our projections will raise in frequency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it is, and it's taking those moments
Hmm.
to enjoy when the universe brings you those special moments too. And noticing that, the butterfly that goes by, that's a beautiful projection that you have created. But you have to honor and pay attention to your projections too, especially the beautiful ones that lift you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like
definitely.
butterflies, hummingbirds, cats,
Hmm.
projecting him sitting on top of the printer.
That's funny. And I have here, we said that we are already home. You are loved. Remember that you are loved beyond measure. We are loved beyond measure. And there
And
isn't,
remind yourself of that
yes.
through affirmation, pictures on the wall, stickies on the mirror, whatever you need. I know one thing I do with a lot of my students and clients is they are told to buy a sticky pad, and they are to write "I love you" on every single one of them, and they're to put them all around the house, inside a book, in their car, wherever they are, in their wallet, everything, so that they are seeing it all the time, and they're seeing it subconsciously all the time, and it makes a huge difference.
Oh, it does. You know, I can prove that. I know that because I may have shared that. I think I shared this with you because I was in and out of my experience, and I was affirming, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I fell asleep actually saying that to myself, or just saying it. And in the out of body, began when I shifted, was saying it again. And I heard an echo back to me of a million I love yous, Michelle.
Yes.
Yes, echoing and surrounding me back, just surrounding me with "I love you, I
Ooh.
love you, I love you." Yeah, it was waves, waves.
Uh-oh.
Did you lose me?
No, I just got a thing. It says, "Seems like your stream is having connection issues." I had a problem with this yesterday too.
I think we're okay.
Yeah, it looks like it is. Restream. It's like Restream had an issue.
Oh, it looks like we're okay on my
Yeah,
end.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys can see and hear us.
Let
Ooh,
me look.
ooh. I know. It's just like, oh my gosh. I think it's Restream. I don't think it's the internet. Because usually if it's the internet, my thing will pop up and say you're having internet.
Okay, JR says looks like we're good.
All right. All right. Thank you, Rev Ned. Thanks, JR. All right.
So we're good.
We're
Yeah, we're
good.
good. I can see on my phone too.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, even 6 months ago, if you have an interruption on the internet with this kind of stuff, usually it boop drops you out, you're done. So that's some good technology upgrade to where it doesn't kick you out.
Yeah, totally. So that's proof that saying I love you over and 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 over is comes back to you and goes out into the universe 1,000 times, I'm going to say
Yeah,
1,000 times over.
absolutely it does.
Mhm.
And it's and there's so much power to that expression, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
When you even just say the words with just in your mind and just feel it, you know, reverb through your body, it just lifts everything. It's so cool.
Yeah. Another good one is I am love.
I am love, I am loved.
Sananda taught me that. Yeah. Or
Mhm.
helped me remember that. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am
Yeah.
light. I was affirming that in meditation once, and I got out so far um, that I was out. I was moving out into the universe and past the universe, into the universes, the multiverse. And my frequency was, I can't even talk, going so fast. I was raising up in frequency so much, I started getting anxious. I had to slowly bring myself down because it was so high in frequency as I was focusing on moving up, moving in, moving in. The Mandelbrot fractals?
I just heard about that. Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, I had heard about that a while ago and it just popped up again in the last week or so.
Have you looked at the video or the first time I looked at that, I saw that. I just
It
started
seems like you shared a
crying.
video with
Did
me
I?
about that too.
I started crying like a baby.
Yeah.
The first time someone shared it with me, I can't remember. Um, it's freaky amazing to me, but it was just so familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if can we share here?
Yeah, we can.
Share a video?
Yep. If you go down to the share screen, do you have the six little blue dots at the bottom? And there's one that's like a screen with an upward arrow.
Mm.
Do
Oh,
you not
share
have that
screen.
there?
Yes, yes, yes. Share screen. Okay. All right. Let me see if this is the Eye of the Universe is what this one's called.
Yep, can we see that?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to see if this is the one I want to share. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me.
We're doing share screen now. We're getting fancy.
Entire screen window. Entire screen. Chrome tab. Entire screen. Okay. It won't let me share.
What?
Yeah, well, it doesn't highlight the share button. Here, let me share. Let me share it to you.
Yeah, can you bring it on into our thing and I can turn it on from in here?
I can email it to you,
Let's try that.
message it to you, or put. Yeah. Okay.
I think I have to download and then upload it.
Oh, you can't share a video from YouTube?
I don't know. Let me try.
Okay.
What's it called?
Um,
Mendel.
Mandelbrot fractal. In the meantime, I'm gonna send it to you on Zoom. I mean on Facebook.
Mandelbot fractal. Eye of the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one I was trying to share. Yeah.
All right. Let me take a look at this one. Oh, yep, that is the one that I was looking at.
I don't
All right.
know, JR, if we can make co-hosts on this on
Yeah, we've been
Restream
trying to figure out how to do that. If you know how to do that,
because we're not on Zoom.
yeah.
We're on Restream. There we go.
Skip ad. Oh, the ad.
So if you click on to put it on your whole screen, you see the whole thing. There we go. Yeah. Whew.
Wow.
I feel it in my heart center. My heart's beating like crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I actually feeling almost dizzy a little bit. Wow. And I know we have to be careful about sharing things up with YouTube without on the show.
Getting the chills up and down my arms. Yeah, and JR
Yeah.
says, well, it's public. So, oh, and it's an hour. Yeah, it's the heart center. That's what I was getting in my heart center. This is an hour long.
Wow. But you guys get an idea. Whoo. It is. It's an hour and 10 minutes. But this is what I'm showing you guys. There's a lot in fractal Zoom. It's called the Eye of the Universe. Wow. Woo. Wow.
Yeah.
Do that on shrooms.
No, no. I wouldn't be able to handle that. Michelle, yeah, totally. I just broke down and sobbed the first time I saw it. Michelle says it makes her want to cry.
Yeah.
I sobbed like crazy. It just was so familiar.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And it's just that what comes to me is that every piece of that is home.
Yeah.
It just goes deeper and deeper and broader and bigger and deeper, and it's all home.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants me to. Whoops. Sorry, not he. Mandel
Brat, Mandelbrot,
fractals.
fractal, yeah. And there's a few of them. That wasn't the one I saw, but it was very similar in that. Whew, man, talk about diving in deep.
Yeah,
That's,
that's good stuff right there. That'll hack your matrix.
that's all you need.
That and some shrooms, you're good.
Right?
Ooh.
I don't know if I can do it on shrooms. Carissa, let us know how that, if you want to do that. Let us.
Oh my gosh. Put it on a big screen treat TV and go at it. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, on my list I have that, and also see all challenges as opportunities for growth.
Mm. Absolutely. And that's really changing up perceptions, which is or perspectives. And that's what I had on my list was changing the perspective on things. It's like one tiny little adjustment in the way you think about things,
Mm-hmm.
giving the benefit of the doubt to situations, not always people, situations, small adjustments towards the positive make massive changes in what you begin to project into the world and what begins to reflect back to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things I had on my list too was feng shui. Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to energy flow, flowing within you and around, around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. That's important in your home, in your workspace,
Yeah.
in your in your body, in your car, in your life. Yeah.
Everywhere. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that's one of the things that I've been and was talking about, taking some time in July and just really get back into me and stuff. And one of the things was doing some feng shui in my home, because it's so easy. You just live there and just, I've got all my painting stuff. I started painting about a year and a half ago, and I've got a whole corner that is just painting stuff all shoved in there, and it's like, and I can feel the energy stuck. And I've got a couple of piles of boxes here, some things I need to handle here, and I got a pile of stuff in my bedroom that's stuff I want to donate. And it's all the stuff that's just it's just stuck in
Yeah.
suspension, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff, moving that kind of things out of the way and cleaning up, clearing clutter. And it's easy for it to get cluttery, when we get busy and life happens and we forget to do that. So thinking of feng shui and keeping the clutter cleared up is important. And even all the way to things like your drawers and closets.
Yeah. Totally. Your
So yeah.
space, all your spaces, all the matrix that we create. And that brings me also to I was getting this information in meditation recently, and you know more about this than I do, is nodes, right? You know about astrology. I don't
Yeah.
know that. I hardly know anything about astrology, but I was getting that in our matrices, our matrix, that we have cross points, nodes, where we come across these in our tapestry. I've heard spirit call it too, our matrix, where we can make certain decisions.
Yeah.
And have these are in these nodes, uh, we have we can make, it's like a crossroads, we can make choices in
Yeah.
different directions. And uh, and they can also be openings for shifts in contact,
Yeah.
different trajectories, change in our life, that kind of thing. So I wonder, since you know about astrology, how do nodes come into play in astrology?
I don't know astrology that well.
Okay.
I know very basic astrology, but what I do know are north nodes and south nodes. And it's rather simple because they affect everything. North nodes are basically where you're coming from. I mean, south nodes where you're coming from, and
Okay.
north nodes where you're going
Where you're
to.
going. Okay.
So when your
Yeah.
north node crosses a particular uh, strong point in your chart, it's a time where you choose, are you going to align with your soul mission here?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you already aligned with your soul mission? And I know that that comes really strong. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's part of that 7 year cycle that you kind of readjust. It's like, are you right on the right trajectory, doing what you're supposed to do, and that kind of stuff. And so that does require kind of getting to know about what your north node is and what that is. And there's a great book um, that is called The Destiny of Your Soul, I think it's called. And it tells all about the north node. And it's fascinating. And it's what you're here to do. And it's interesting because when I read mine, it's in Leo, which I have Leo in my Venus. But other than that, I don't have Leo or fire in my chart. And it's all about playing and having fun and being loyal and all that fun Leo lion energy. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's those lions again. And I've always been so playful and silly, and it's not always welcome in business and in stuff. And I've even had people in the spiritual thing, they're like, oh my god, you're so silly, who's ever going to believe in you?
Oh,
And it's
geez.
like, because this is how I roll, man. And it's interesting because that's what I'm here for,
Yeah.
is to bring the joy and the laughter and the silly and the childlike innocent into my life path, which is a spiritual teacher, a spiritual evolutionist, or whatever the words are we're using.
Right. Evolutionist. So I
Yeah.
wonder if, going back to the nodes, if our astrology chart is actually our matrix.
On one level, absolutely. That's why
Yeah.
it's been used for so very long.
Mhm.
And everything has a chart, like every city on its birth date has a chart, our country has a chart,
Mhm. Mhm.
buildings when they're erected has a chart. Kings and queens use astrologers,
Right.
for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I mean, honestly, it's probably been around tens of thousands of years.
So is this just another name or
Mhm,
symbol for our matrix?
mhm.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's interesting too, especially when you look at the chart. Again, the
Mhm.
charts are done in circular formation with lines and all that
Right.
stuff going on. And
With grid lines kind of thing. Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. And the universe is a matrix, is a chart. The galaxy,
yep,
the planets, planetary matrices and charts.
stars,
I just thought about that. Interesting.
wormholes, stargates.
And that was another thing, and that's what they were talking about with the nodes in my meditation, is that these nodes are stargates. They're
Yeah,
portals, openings. Yeah, cross
absolutely.
points are openings for contact, change, and trajectories.
Yeah,
And that's what you were
absolutely.
talking about with the north nodes.
Yeah,
Same thing, just different words.
yeah. And that's where part of that awakening thing comes too, when we begin to put all these pieces together. We begin to move beyond the verbology that's around it, right? The words are around it, whether they're religion or national or whatever, and grab the concepts and be like, oh, that is that. And this is that. And
Mhm.
this is the same. And the Bible does have great wisdom. And these, you know what I mean? It's like you begin to not see it like in the small context, but in the big, broader, open mind context, and everything starts making sense.
Yeah. And the more we connect to our north nodes, I guess, our upward trajectory is rising up rising up this spiraling line of light, as Law of One Ra
Like
talked
the
about.
spiraling DNA.
Yeah. Then the more we connect to the or uh, tie in, connect, become. I just see these matrices connecting with each other. The more we connect, like you said, in a more expanded state, expanded awareness, and our matrix grows and grows, and where we become aware of our universalness, our, you know,
The vastness of the universalness. And it was interesting because I know when I started studying heliontics, they were talking about a 15 dimensional matrix.
wow,
And I was stunned at first, but then I was like, "Oh my god, that makes so much more sense."
yeah,
Because 5D never felt like the end destination to me.
no, no way,
Are
yeah.
you are you going to say hello to your audience, my lord? Oh, you're so cute. Let me see. Let him see your lovely face.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
Mikey.
look, there
Hi,
he is.
Mikey.
He's plopping down. He's like, dinner.
Yeah,
Excuse me, but
he knows what time it is.
he does know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just plops right down, didn't he? Such a good boy. Such a good boy.
Nice.
He's like, I'm creating my own matrix right here. Give me food.
Right.
It's the food matrix.
Yeah. This is good stuff. Again.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here,
Mm-hmm.
being a part of this, joining in this energy field, this energy matrix that we all create together. That we can talk about this stuff because you know, Sharon and I might be the ones that are here talking about this, but we're inspired by spirit, by the universe, the energies, to bring information through that will infill you, that will fill you up. So those of you that are here, you're here because Spirit's been conspiring to give you information and love and energy and whatever it is you need through this particular medium. So thank you for showing up and being here, because universe wants you to be happy.
Oh, yeah. We
Go
want
watch some
ourselves.
Mandelbrot fractals now.
Mandelbrot fractals.
Mandelbrot. I can't.
Mandelbrot.
I look at the word and I'm like, I can't say it.
It took me a little while. Just like Ho'oponopono. Took me a while to say that correctly. Be able to say that too.
I used to call it that hoe thing. We're going to do the hoe thing now, the hoe prayer.
All we see is Mikey's ears and the top of his head.
Yeah. Is that what you want them to see? The better to hear you with, my darlings. He's so
All
funny.
righty.
I'm trying to. Just won't move. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Thank you again, Sharon, for a wonderful show and
Thank you, Michelle.
being here
Yeah,
together.
totally. Hmm.
Okay, we love you
And
guys.
see you
And
next time.
make sure that if you are not subscribed to our channel yet, that you get your butt down there and do it.
Yes.
And also like this if you do, and let
And comment.
YouTube know that you like what's going on here.
Yeah, it helps our channels. And
Yep.
Michelle says, ride that collective wave.
Ride that collective wave. Ow, but
Hey, Rev Ned, love you. I'll
we
have to have
love
you
you
back
guys
on
a
my
lot.
show.
And
Mhm.
make sure y'all stay sparkly, okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.